So I want this line to be about 3 foot in front of me so I have the ability to maneuver water without moving my whole body. The stationary position is the least amount of fatigue that's on our body. That's what it's designed for. Because we're catching our breath, we're lowering our blood pressure, we're lowering our heart rate, we're waiting on hose behind us, we're just working what's in front of us. So we want the least amount of fatigue on our body in the stationary position. Because once we start moving forward with the line on, that's when the fatigue starts to let in and we start using lower muscle groups for that. We're using a lot of grip strength, we're using our biceps. In this position, I want to use big body groups. So I want this line to be as high into my armpit as possible, and I'm going to lock down on it with my bicep and lock this elbow in the front of the thigh. I'm right-handed, so my right leg is my dominant leg, I want it high. My left leg is my non-dominant leg, I want it low. My foot on my dominant leg, I want it perpendicular from my body, and it's a happy medium between being too far forward and too far back. If I'm too far forward, the nozzle reaction has an opportunity to push me backwards. If I'm too far back, it's going to drive the nozzle position down to the ground. So I have to find that happy medium that feels comfortable to keep my body upright and keep the nozzle in an upright position. So this is an 1 3/4 line. I can bully this line because it's low nozzle reaction. Body mechanics aren't really as important with this line because I can bully it. If you switch this line to a 2.5 and raise the nozzle reaction up about 30 pounds, it will humble you really quickly if you don't have good body mechanics. So everything we're talking about the small line directly translates over to the big line. So I'm going to show you some things on how to counteract physics today that don't necessarily have to be used with this line. But if you bring this all the way over to the big line, you're going to need good body mechanics with the big line. It's a tree trunk and it's flowing 90 pounds nozzle reaction. So in most cases, 80 to 90 pounds. So if we start changing physics real quick with fast whippy motions, it's going to tumble your body over. So you got to have some type of body mechanics in order to do it. So stationary position. I want this line to be as high as possible in my armpit. I want to hold all that nozzle reaction with this contact point. I don't want my hands to hold any nozzle reaction whatsoever. So all that nozzle reaction is being held with my body. My hands aren't doing any of that because these are small muscle groups. I don't want to use grip strength, forearm, or bicep to hold this nozzle reaction. My body's doing it. All I'm doing with my hands is just driving water placement. And everything else is being held by my body. I don't want any kind of extra stress or fatigue on my body when I'm doing it. If I want the nozzle down, I can lean forward. If I want the nozzle up, I can lean backwards. And I can just drive specific water placement with my hands. Make sense? Okay, got 2 lines split into 2 groups. So